Hi everyone. So following my last video about DBT, if you guys remember I went over this, I just wanted to do a video of how I do the worksheets and how I interpret them and what worked best for me. Even though I believe on the book, which all my printouts are from, it's actually from the Skills Training Manual for Treating Borderline Personality Disorder by Marsha Linehan. Definitely search her up. She's awesome. She's actually the creator, just so you know. I believe the way the book has it, it's by mindfulness, emotional regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness. I believe this is the way that it has it structured, but from my understanding, you don't need to follow it that way. You don't necessarily need to know emotional regulation before interpersonal effectiveness. I do think it is helpful to know mindfulness before everything else, but I don't know about you. Mindfulness is one of the hardest ones for me. So I actually the way that I started doing DBT, I actually did mindfulness last. I believe I started with emotional regulation first. Mindfulness is just, it's hard. It's hard stuff. So me personally, I didn't like wanting to do something so hard that it was so abstract to my mind. To do it, to be the first module to start with. Just because I was already having a hard time understanding the concept, let alone try to do a skill that was just so advanced for me personally. So I kind of don't want to do the same thing for you guys. I kind of want to show you how I learned it best. So I'm going to start with emotional regulation. So here you're going to see the 3 goals for emotional regulation, which are understanding emotions you're experiencing, reduce emotional vulnerability, and also decreasing emotional suffering. Now, the first part is understanding emotions that you're experiencing. How do you do that? By identifying, observing, and describing your emotion. Also by understanding what that emotion does for you. Secondly, we want to reduce emotional vulnerability by decreasing negative vulnerability and increasing positive emotions. And thirdly, we want to decrease emotional suffering by letting go of painful emotions through mindfulness and changing those painful emotions through opposite action. Now, we will learn that later on within different modules. So for now, just bear with me on that one. Now that we went over the goals of emotional regulation training, now there's going to be a second worksheet that goes with that. It's called the homework worksheet. Basically, it breaks it down for you. Because I'm sure you're asking yourself, well, how do I interpret my emotions? So much has happened in a situation, I don't even know where to start. You might be asking yourself questions like, how do I know what my emotion is at that time? How do I let go of painful emotions? With the homework that they give you, it breaks it down for you. It helps you to see kind of like each frame of the movie or video, if per se, so you can see how it led up to, the big volcano per se. So let's do that now. So now we're going to observe and describe the emotion that we're experiencing during a specific situation. Here's going to be an example of mine. Also, just so I don't confuse you guys, I'm not going to start with the emotional name part yet. I'm going to start with the prompting event. We're going to start off by writing the prompting event. Basically, who, what, where, and when, what started the emotion in the first place. So I worked at a restaurant And of course, lunchtime is the busiest time because everybody wants to come and get lunch at the place. And the table was super dirty. So what did I felt like doing? I felt like I needed to clean the table so that people could sit there. As I'm doing it, my manager starts yelling at me as if I'm doing something wrong. Now we're going to look at the interpretation of the event of my manager yelling at me. My interpretation was that I was doing something wrong, that I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm probably stupid for this. Now we're going to look at my body changes. Usually whenever a situation happens like this, your body naturally does a change within it. So it's just a matter of picking up on it. For me, my heart starts racing. I feel flustered. My body feels tense, especially around my face, my upper body. My hands get really cold. Now we're going to look at what was my body language. My body language was probably coming off annoyed. My eyes were wide open. My eyebrows were probably pushed upwards. My hands were kind of up in the air, kind of giving off that what the fuck sign. Not really flicking off or anything like that. But yeah, I was probably just very all around annoyed. Now, after being so frustrated, we're going to look at what were my action urges. What did I feel like doing? What did I want to say? I wanted to stop what I was doing, throw the plates down, leave, and quit. I wanted to yell at her back and say, "What the fuck are you yelling at me for?" Now here's where, what did I really say and do in the situation? Now I didn't do what I wanted to do. All I did was grab the plates off the table, went into the kitchen, and I was just overall super annoyed. I probably did the sound or some stupid sound like that. Now the after effect that the emotion had on me, my state of mind, my other emotions, behaviors, thoughts. I just felt like the day was ruined. I probably was closed off with coworkers and other people. I definitely felt overwhelmed with all the stress. I just honestly wanted to go home. Now, as for the function of emotion, I honestly never really understood that part, so I'm gonna skip it. Now, after writing everything out so detailed, I'm able to identify my emotion, which was frustration. And lastly, we want to put the intensity level of that emotion. From 0 to 100, I felt it was appropriate around like an 80. Okay, so that was the first part of emotional regulation. I hope you guys liked my example. Um, Honestly, I have done the worksheet so many times. I don't get enough of it. It honestly helps me in specific situations to break it down for me. A clear understanding that just because you do this homework, just because you understand this specific part, does not mean that all your problems are going to be gone, that you're going to be happy all the time, that you're going to be positive, that you're never going to cry again, that you're never going to be upset. This just means that you're going to have a better outcome of really understanding what's the root of the problem, what you're experiencing, what's the emotions that you're feeling. And you're not also gonna get this by just doing one time, two times, three times. You have to do this all the time. You have to do this every single time there's something going on, honestly, because that's the way that you're going to do better about it. That's the way that you're going to learn more. And like I say it all the time on my Instagram, and I'll say it here: if you're not gonna put in the work, then stop bitching about it. Like, deal with your unhappy life. But if you really want to do something different, then you're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to be patient with it. And it's okay to get a little impatient. Believe me, I have been impatient. I have been doing this for 4 years. And just recently, within the last 6 months, I have really seen a huge turnover. So you're not going to get this quick. Every person is different. You know, some people may have gotten it within their first year. And some people have been in DBT for like 6 years or so. And they're still, you know, not as advanced as me. And, you know, even though that kind of does suck, I'll be honest, I have to say I can't fully judge them because at least they're trying. At least they're continuing going every day or, you know, once a week to therapy, and they're not giving up. So even if it takes them 6 years or 10 years, they're gonna get, you know, through life a lot better than if they never did it in the first place. So keep this in mind, please. You know, and if you have any other further questions, you know, contact me. I have my email linked. You can indirect message me on Instagram, whatever works easier for you. You know, let me know. I'm here to help. I hope this video was helpful in any way possible. You know, this is what has helped me. So, you know, hopefully what has helped me can help you. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.